That's such a great question. Thank you so much for asking me that question. I have to laugh every time I get asked that. And it's probably the number one question I get asked from potential clients is, when did I start building funnels? And the reason why I find it so funny, it was actually nearly 20 years ago. And it scares me to think that I have been around for that long building funnels, doing marketing online. But it was around 2005 when I actually built my first funnel. And it's a pretty crazy story, actually, because back then no one was building funnels. It just was not a thing. And I came up with this concept pretty much on my own. There was probably a few things that I took my idea from that I saw done, but it was my idea to build this funnel. And the reason why I wanted to build the funnel was I'd started a bridal hair and makeup business. And that particular business I was running, I was probably one of the smaller businesses. I was new. And there was a couple of my competitors that were quite big, but I never wanted to get that big, but I also never wanted to have all that workload to go with it. So what I actually did was I came up with this concept of, why can't I send people a customized email with their information, with the price list, and give them the link to pay a deposit? Because what everyone else was doing was that they just had on their website a price list. And I thought, why can't I just take it to the next step? Because what I was finding that I was getting was either everyone was calling me, asking me for the prices, and I was like, hang on, they're all on the website, or they were emailing me to ask me the prices. And so I had a lot of extra work going on. So I thought, why not build out now what I understand to be a sales funnel, why not build out a funnel where I can actually automate the process? So what I did, I hacked together, and I love telling this story because it's pretty crazy when we think about it. MailChimp had only just started around then. There was no such thing as Zapier. There was no such thing as Typeform. I'm actually friends with a guy that started Typeform, and he started after that time. I wish he was around when this was all happening for me. So I had to use different sorts of platforms and hack it all together. So what I actually had to do, I had to get, I used MailChimp. I came up with around 12 emails, something like that. And I had triggers set up in that. This is all me coming up with this concept. And I came up with the triggers, and then I had to get a developer to put code in. I can't even remember where the code went. I think from memory, there was something in the back end of MailChimp that was different from now, where we added code, and that code spoke to my website and the form that was there. And I had, for instance, a woman would ask for 3 hair and 2 makeups, or 2 makeups and 6 hair, mother of the bride hair. Location, she had to tell me the location so I could work out the kilometer distance. And then what I did, I had emails set up. There was around 12 emails with the actual information in that email. And in that email, there was actually a PayPal button where I got people to pay a deposit, that I said, here's the price. If you're happy with it, please pay a deposit to not lose your spot. And actually the email started with something like, thanks, your time is available, your day's available. Here's the price, and please pay the deposit to not lose your spot. I kid you not, more than 50% of the brides used to come back to me saying, it was amazing. I had to book with you because you got back to me straight away. No one else was getting back to me as quickly as you did. And I was just so amazed by it. And I always had to choke back and not laugh and think, you have no idea, like, this is not me doing it. Do you think I'm up at like 11 o'clock at night and 4 o'clock in the morning doing this all the time? Like, I have a job to do. I'm actually the person that goes onto the job site and does the weddings. And what I found was my business grew. I did over 250 weddings in that first year. I hired about 12 girls. Well, they were all freelancers, but I had about 12 girls on my team, and they were getting so much work from me. And they all said, while I still had that business in Australia, that I gave them more work than anyone else. And we had really good quality work. The thing was that the price that I was sending them was for the brides was no different from the prices that were actually on my website. It was just that I was sending it to them as a custom quote, I guess. Hacking this all together was really difficult, and it took me a lot of work, and everyone said I was crazy for trying it. They were like, why bother? Like, this is just too much work. But I knew in my heart that this was going to make a big difference to my business. And it did. And I ended up selling that business and selling it for a good chunk of change. And part of the reason why I sold it for so much money was because I had this automated funnel in place. No one else had this back then. I sold my business, it would have been around 2011, maybe a bit later than that. I'm trying to think back to what year it was. maybe 2014. I can't remember exactly what year I sold my business, but still at that stage, still no one was actually building out these funnels. So my business was really unique. So I guess back to your question, when did I start building funnels? About 20 years ago. And the fact that I have done it all, I see all of these so-called experts out there that are talking about funnels, and I look into what they're doing, and all they're doing is taking one strategy and then they're selling you that one strategy. And the difference is what I do is I've done every type of strategy. I've built funnels before funnels were a thing, and I can build them on all different platforms. So now we have our own system where we do it. But if it's MailChimp, if you're a coaching business, if you're a dentist, it doesn't matter what you're doing, but I can put together the best funnel for particular businesses. And that comes from 20 years of experience of trying everything right back at the beginning and learning what works for different types of businesses. And there really isn't a one fit for everyone. It really comes down to not even just your type of business. So two business coaches could have different sorts of strategies. We could build out different funnels for two different business coaches. Dentists, we can build out different types of funnels for them too. There's not one way to do it. And it really comes down to what works best for your clients, your customers, your clients, and what works best for you and how it feels. Because while someone might actually really like an Instagram funnel, another business, even in the same space, might not like that idea. So yeah, I guess that's my answer in a very long way. I have been building funnels 20 years and I've done it all. I've seen it all. And yeah, I love it. I'm passionate about it. And my passion came from starting it on my own and realizing that there is just so much potential and so much growth. And what I saw back then as growth, and I've built out many other funnels for my own businesses and hundreds for my clients. And I know funnels get results. I know that having a good automated funnel in place is actually what makes a big difference.